This is Justin Goulet, and I'm here in studio right now with Tony Gavrilovich. He is the co-owner of the Rock Music School in Brampton. Tony, how are you today, sir?
I'm just fine.
Excellent. Now, I want to talk about the school. What kind of services do you offer to young musicians out there?
Well, we offer like beginner lessons for people who want to start. And then we have like intermediate lessons as well for people who have already started and want to continue kind of going on a path towards music.
Okay. Now, other than being the co-owner of the school, do you have any other roles within the Rock School?
Well, I'm one of the teachers as well, so I instruct students on guitar, and I also do other things like special programs as well.
Okay. What kind of special programs do you guys have?
Well, like the program that we're bringing in here today, which is the acoustic tour, which is the Rising Star Acoustic Tour.
Okay.
And basically what we do is we take singers and guitar players and whoever else wants to be on it to go into like, say, like a cafe or to like a public event that maybe the city might be having to do performances.
Cool. Now, what is your musical background exactly?
Well, I'm a guitar player. I studied guitar for many, many years when I was younger. And then I got into a band like most people do. And then I started going on tour and doing sessions and things like that.
Oh, wow. Like what kind of tours did you go on?
Oh, I just went on, like, I was on the cover circuit where I had an original band, but we went on the cover circuit to go across Canada.
Wow.
So basically we just went and played all these different places. I've been all the way up to like the Northwest Territories and stuff like that, just playing in a band.
That's incredible. How was that experience, like traveling across the country?
It was actually very, very fun. I got to meet a lot of different people, and that's actually probably was one of the best things that was about the tour was the fact that we got to meet so many different people in different parts of Canada to see how different it was from being in, like, say, Toronto, from where I'm originally from.
Yeah, just exactly exploring that different culture, experiencing the Canadian lifestyle all across the board. That's amazing. Do you still play in a band, or do you put your focus on the Rock School?
Most of my focus is in the Rock School.
And now we take a break from this portion of the interview with a special performance from the Brampton Rock School.
The way you look, the way you laugh, the way you love with all you have, there ain't nothing about you. Don't do something for me. The way you kiss, the way you cry, way you move when you walk by, there ain't nothing about you. Don't do something for me. Once I thought that love was something I could never do. Never knew that I could feel this much, but this yearning in the deep heart of my heart for you is more than a reaction to your touch. It's a perfect passion, and I can't get enough. The way you look, the way you laugh, the way you love with all you have, there ain't nothing about you. Don't do something for me. The way you kiss, the way you cry, the way you move when you walk by, there ain't nothing about you. Don't do something for me. Fall to pieces, you know I'll pick them up. There are so many reasons, never gonna get enough. If you should leave this country, you know I'll come to you, because you always love me. Oh, what I wouldn't do. Oh, what I wouldn't do. Now carry
And we'll be right back with the Brampton Rock School after some more great music courtesy of the HAZEFM. And we're back here in studio with Tony Gavrilovich, the co-owner of the Rock Music School in Brampton. Now, Tony, what teaching methods do you bring to the table as a former player yourself and a current player, I guess? What do you bring to the table to young students?
Well, what I try to do is kind of bring like the real life kind of experience of what musicians have to do out there to be like viable as like a musician getting paid for it.
Exactly.
And one of the things is that, we teach that you should be able to like read music and do things like that, because when you go into a session, sometimes they give you the sheet music and say, you need to do something based around this piano part. And so you need to know how to read. So we do that. The other thing that I like to bring to the table most of the time is people naturally feeling the music. So now what we do is we go through kind of training them to be able to like just adapt at any situation, like getting up at a jam night and being able to jam with 4 guys that you never played with before and actually still sound good.
Exactly. Now, how long has the Rock School been around, and how exactly did you guys create the Rock School?
Well, the Rock School has been around for about 7 years, going
wow.
maybe on 8 almost.
Wow.
And and how it came about was that I originally started teaching at a friend's school,
Okay.
just as a favor. And what ended up happening was I realized that I could actually teach kids to do this, to do music, and to get them to be very successful at what they're doing. So after being there for about 10 years, we decided with my wife to say, let's open up our own place. And we decided to open it up in Brampton because that's where we live.
How's the experience been so far teaching all these students for this many years?
Well, it's always a challenge in some ways, but the challenge is usually like, it's a good challenge. Like people want to say that a challenge is always like a negative thing, but teaching the young people is like, you start to see how they learn differently. Like
Okay.
all of them have their own strengths and weakness. And what you do is you usually try to go in and take their strength and try to get that to help with their weaknesses.
Now, you mentioned the Rising Star Acoustic Tour. What other events? Is that the only big event that the Rock School hosts, or do you have any other events?
Well, most of the time our school, like that event is like our thing that we kind of put together for this program.
Okay.
But we also have like a rock band program, which has a concert of their own, but that's mostly for, their parents and things like that. But in that program, occasionally we end up going to like city events. So like there's like the Rotary Club is doing their Rib Fest or whatever, like the Rib and Roll or whatever they call it in Brampton, because they do them everywhere.
Yeah.
And and they have like a stage that they have like performances on. They hire people to do it, but we also donate a band to do that, which is one of our student bands, and they go up there and do a performance in front of the whole crowd there. So that's kind of how we kind of get the kids involved with things like that.
A lot of community involvement. That's
Yes.
fantastic. Now, where can people go to find out more about the Rock School?
Well, they can go to www.therockschool.ca.
Perfect. Do you guys have a Twitter or Facebook page yet or anything like that?
Yeah, we do. Facebook. It's if you go to our website, there's a link to both of them.
Okay,
So,
it
yeah,
makes it
so
nice and easy right
it makes
there.
it easier to find it that way.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much, Tony, for joining me. I understand we actually have a student who's going to be in the studio next, so we're really excited about that. Tony Gavrilovich, he is the co-owner of the Rock Music School. Thank you so much for joining me, sir.
Thank you.
And now we take a break from this portion of the interview with a special performance from the Brampton Rock School.
She never mentions the word addiction in certain company. Yeah, she'll tell you she's an orphan after you meet her family. Paints her eyes as black as night now, pulls those shades down tight. Yeah, she gives a smile when the pain comes. The pain's gonna make everything alright. Says she talks to angels. They call her out by her name. Oh yeah, she talks to angels. Says they call her out by her name.
And we'll be right back with the Brampton Rock School after some more great music courtesy of the HAZEFM. And right now we're joined in studio by one of these students at Brampton's The Rock School. This is Bailey Leong. Thank you so much for joining me, Bailey. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you. Really excited to talk about music because you guys got a lot of big programs as part of The Rock School. I want to ask you first, how did you get involved with the school?
Well, I've kind of been singing my whole life. I used to sing in the car with my mom, and she kind of just signed me up for this one music school that didn't really work out, and we found the rock school through a newspaper, so it's really nice there.
And the rest, as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah.
How long have you been involved with the rock school?
A long time.
Oh, yeah?
Probably like 8 years.
Wow, that's awesome. So almost its entire run, really, just starting from the bottom, and now you're here. That's great.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any big influence when it comes to music?
Not really. I like a lot of different artists, so just kind of everything.
All the different genres, try to get all that. Do you play any other instruments, or do you focus on vocals?
I used to do drums, but I sort of quit that.
Oh, okay.
So now it's just vocals.
It's always a challenge. Where do you plan on going with music in the future? Do you plan on stretching this out as a career, or is this something you like to do for fun?
It'd be really nice to do it as a career, but it might not be a very viable option for me.
Okay. What are some of the programs that you participate in as part of the Brampton Rock School?
Well, we have obviously the acoustic tour, and I also do the band program.
Okay. Could you explain the band program, what that is exactly?
So it's the four of us and also a instructor.
Okay.
And basically we meet every Saturday and we practice and we get one performance in the public.
Oh, wow. What's it like performing in the public?
It's sort of scary sometimes, but usually people are pretty into it, so.
And you get that adrenaline going. How do you have any routines that you do before you go on stage that you could share with us, or do you just go out there and have a good time on stage?
I just kind of try and go out there, have as much fun as I can, try and engage the audience.
Exactly. That's what you got to do with music. Yeah, that's what you want to do with music. So you said you don't have many big influences. Do you have any favorite songs that you practice or anything to get yourself ready for a show?
I have this one song that I really like to sing. It's called Jane Says by Jane's Addiction.
Oh, that's very interesting because that's
Yeah.
a little bit harder rock and everything. Do you focus on a certain genre? Like as a vocalist yourself, do you focus on a certain genre? Do you focus on rock, or is it like lighter music?
I like to sing rock music. I feel like it's a bit better for my voice.
Yeah, just all the training and everything. Do you participate in any other bands outside of the rock school, or is it all part of the rock school?
Right now I'm just doing stuff with the rock school, but I hope to maybe do something else in the future.
Excellent. Well, I wish you the best of luck in the future, Bailey. Thank you so much for joining me. Do you have a Facebook page or Twitter? Anyone can follow you if you want to plug that?
Sure, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Bailey Leong.
There you go. Bailey Leong, thank you so much for joining me. And now we take a break from this portion of the interview with a special performance from the Brampton Rock School.
Well, when you go, don't ever think I'd make you try to stay. And maybe when you get back, I'll be off to find another way. And after all this time that you still owe, you still look good for nothing, I don't know. So take your gloves and get out. You better get out while you can.